Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Okay, so how many of you guys noticed this morning that when you do a search on Turo, the rating system, the way that it displays has changed? And that definitely caught me by surprise. And for me, it displayed this morning, so maybe there was an update overnight, and maybe some of you guys have already seen this out there, so let me know if you've seen it. But basically, what I'm talking about is when you do a search for cars, now when they show the rating of what that car is rated at, it's showing by decimal point. So it'll show like 4.99 star rating, 4.98 star rating, 5.0 star rating. And that is, I guess the best word to describe it for me is a little disheartening, especially when you have a host out there, which I would classify myself as one of those hosts, as somebody who really prides themselves on going above and beyond to provide a 5-star rating. And if you've been a host on the platform, you know that it is almost impossible to maintain a perfect 5-star rating, especially when you have multiple cars and you have a high frequency of trips. It's really difficult. And I think that this new change is, of course, it's going to serve as a little bit of a disadvantage because it doesn't display well or perceive well by renters. You know, for whatever reason, looking at a 4.98 versus a 5.0, there is a difference, right? And the 5.0 looks better. But I also think over time what's going to happen is that eventually there aren't going to be listings that have a 5.0 rating, because as we all know, the longer that you do this, it's inevitable that you get a renter or a person who for whatever reason is not going to leave you a perfect star rating. It's just how it is. And I've been doing this long enough to know that no matter what, it's inevitable in time. It is incredibly difficult to maintain 100% 5-star rating. No matter what you do, how out of your way you go, how well you maintain your cars, it's just going to happen. And I think somewhere on Turo's website they have that too. I don't know if it's when you leave a review or it's somewhere in the review section where they say like, oh, don't stress out, it can't be perfect all the time, just do your best type of thing. I have to find out exactly where that is, but I think some of you out there will know what I'm talking about. So yeah, that's a real bummer that they're showing the ratings to the decimal point. And I don't know what the math is on figuring out exactly how the rating determines when you fall below a 5.0, but it seems like if it's not 100% 5-star rating, then you fall below that. But I don't know exactly how the math works out. So if anyone out there does know, let me know. But I'm going to do a little screen share right now, and I'll show you guys how the listings are displaying, and then I'll show you an example of one of my cars that has, you know, over 100 plus trips, and I have a 4.99 star rating. And that is so incredibly hard to do, to have over 100 trips and to have every single guest be happy with their experience and to really have that 5-star experience, but then to still have it display as 4.99, like that breaks my heart. I hate that. That bugs me. So it's a bummer that they're displaying like that. I mean, I know that obviously they're not the only ones to display ratings like that. Google reviews is like that too, where they show it to the decimal point. But it's frustrating because I feel like with Turo, you know, you're really providing not just a car, but you're providing an experience. And yeah, you can't make everyone happy, but I would still consider my 4.99 star rating on a car that has over 100 plus trips as a 5.0, you know? So I feel like the math should be calculated just a little bit differently. But in the end, I think that it's going to only hurt the platform, because eventually over time, it's going to be only the newer cars coming onto the platform that have the 5-star ratings. And even them, the longer that they stay on, eventually that rating is going to drop. So the majority of the cars listed on the platform won't hold that 5-star rating, and so it's not going to present well. So I don't know. I hope that they change that, and that maybe that this is just a temporary change, but who really knows. So I'll do a quick search in my area of the cars to show you guys how the ratings are displaying, and then I will actually show you one of my cars and show you the reviews and how a 4-star rating from somebody who actually had a great experience has affected that that car's rating on the way that it displays. All right, so let's take a look. Here's a quick search in my area. These are actually my cars that are popping up right here. But for example, this Mercedes-Benz 4.99 at 123 trips. But you can even see these newer cars, they have not as many trips, but they still are already catching those lower ratings. And you'll see a few cars on here that have a 5.0 rating and they have like 1 trip, like that Dodge Challenger. So kind of interesting to see how this is gonna show up. But let's take a look at one of my cars. So here is my Vanderhall, for example. So it says I have, in the lifetime of having this car listed, I have 55 reviews, and they're all 4-star or 5 stars, except I have this 1 4-star right here, which the guy said everything was great except the passenger side seat needed a little tightening because for some reason it was rolling forward. And in this particular case, I was never able to replicate that problem. So maybe something was lodged into the rail of the passenger side seat that was causing it to not lock in place, but I never got to the bottom of it. So that's an example of having all 5-star reviews and just 1 4-star and having that rating. So with all that said, let me know what you guys think about this new change and how many of you have seen it, what you think as a host, and how you think it'll affect renters. Do you think that renters really will have an issue with the perceived value with how they shop on the marketplace, and kind of what could be the long-term effects of this? And on that final note, you know, I think now more than ever as a host, you really have to focus on getting those 5-star reviews, which, you know, this is a great way to implement that. But regardless of, you know, really focusing on it, no matter what, over time, the more trips that you attain under a car, you're going to eventually run into a situation to where someone could leave you a 4-star review, let alone a 3, 2, or a 1. So it is just inevitable with time, no matter what. That's just what the probability works out to be, no matter what. So yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on this, and we'll, I guess, figure it out one step at a time. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Have a great rest of your weekend. Bye, guys.